Brothers, I hate to break it to you, but if you're a guy that likes to travel and you happen to be colored, they're gonna label you as a passport, bro.
Yeah. Okay. It's us.
Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Jaime Woods back at it with another travel video. Make sure to subscribe, make sure to like, hit that notification bell. Check out the merch. I dropped new merch for the fall, so make sure to check that out, ladies and gentlemen. And check out the Patreon for exclusive content that I will not be posting here. So if you guys like more of the dating vibes, check out my Patreon. I'll go over all that on the Patreon. But besides the point, let's go over the topic of discussion here, okay? So the topic of discussion is, what is a passport bro? Because I think a lot of people are confused with the definition of a passport bro. Now, anybody can have their definition, right? Everybody has their different definition, meaning, perspective, definition, whatever it is on what it is to be a passport bro, right? What I view as a passport bro could be different from what you view and what the next person views and what the other person views. There's no legit definition for a passport bro. However, here's one thing I gotta let y'all know, is that when you guys are going to these airports and the staff from the airports are looking at y'all, right? Whether that's in Colombia, Brazil, Thailand, Philippines, anywhere that right now at the moment has huge expat communities, huge tourism, and especially sex tourism, if you're a colored individual, they're going to put you all under one bracket. Even if you're not that type of person, even if you're not there for sex tourism, they're going to put you in the bracket of a passport bro. And one of the things that opened up my mind towards this is talking to a couple girls. I was talking to a couple girls from here, from the States, and even girls from Colombia, girls from Brazil. I was talking to them, and they asked me, do you consider yourself a passport bro? And I said, I consider myself a traveler. Now, if people want to put me or label me as a passport bro, I'm not going to take any offense to that, because the way I view a passport bro is, passport bros are individuals that want to go to other countries to live a better life, to have a better lifestyle, right? That's the way I view a passport bro, to keep it short. But I know some women and foreigners from other countries, and even people like guys that live here in the States that have never traveled, that don't associate with the travel space. I know that their definition of what a passport bro is a black or brown individual that goes to another country to sleep with quote unquote poor women, right? That's the way they view it. They think that passport bros are all sex tourists, mongers that go to other countries to sleep with their women and want nothing serious with those women. They say that passport bros are guys with some type of money that can't get girls here in America, that go there to take advantage of the economy and how low the cost of living is there and how desperate the, quote unquote people are there in those countries, right? That's the way they view it. So they basically viewed every single guy that travels that happens to be colored, or even white people, for example. Even white people get tossed into it. They view all of us in the same light, right? And I thought that was a little interesting. And just the way that they view foreign women, I thought was super offensive. They viewed them as uneducated, dirty, unintelligent, desperate. It just, the females, an American woman's perspective on foreign women is fascinating, right? Because a lot of it is untrue. I know women in foreign countries are well off. I know women in foreign countries that don't need to do P for P. They don't need to do none of that. They live very well. In fact, some of them live better than most of us do. Maybe they don't make as much money as the American woman does, but they're not in debt. They got a husband. They got a family. They're living happy. This is what American women think of passport bros. Now, foreign women, it doesn't really change with foreign women. I talked to foreign women about this topic, and they said that passport bros are men that, black men, colored men that go into these Latin American countries, these P4P countries, and take advantage of the P4P culture, take advantage of the women there, because they know the women there, they need money. And so they use money as leverage to sleep with as many women as possible in these countries. And that's the way they view us foreigners. That's the way they view passport bros. They view passport bros and black people that travel to these countries as desperate, as sex needy. Like, we need sex all the time. Like, we're just there to use them for the box, right? That's the way they view us. They view us as individuals that go to these countries strictly for one reason and one reason only. And then the American men view us in the same light. They're like, oh, you guys can't get girls here in America, so you guys go to the Philippines, Thailand, Brazil, all these other countries to get women because you can't get them here. You know, because us American men, we got game. You know, the guys that date here, we got game. And then you see them with their wives. You see them with their girlfriends. You see them with the girls that they be having in their rotation, right? The girls they be talking to, and a lot of them are hit. But yet they're making fun of guys that are traveling. And of course, you have the foreign men from those countries that don't like us brothers traveling to those countries, because the thing is, they don't want their women to be stolen. They view us as competition, as guys that are going to go in there and sweep, right? That's the way they view us. That we're just going to go up in there, talk to the hottest girl in the room, and take her, right? And they don't like that. That's why they're also dissing passport bros, because they think we're going into these countries stealing their women, when in fact that's not even true. Passport bros, or guys that travel that happen to be dating in these countries, don't really get the cream of the crop. We don't really get the best of the best because of the language barriers, right? No matter what you say, language barrier is a huge reason as to why us colored folk that happen to go to these countries, that happen to be dating, can't get the best of the best, because we can't communicate with them. We can't talk to them. So I know the local men, the foreign men in these countries, don't like us going to their countries to talk to their girls. But at the same time, we're not really competition, because we can't really take the women that y'all want, that y'all have. So I'm not trying to say that they all feel this way or they all think this way, but for the most part, for the ones I've spoken to, that's what they all say, right? And it's up to us as brothers that are traveling, that are seasoned travelers, have been traveling since birth, to educate these people on what it is to be a traveler. Everyone assumes, oh, you're just traveling for one reason, but they forget there's so many advantages to traveling. One, cost of living. The cost of living is much cheaper. Why would I go clubbing every single weekend here in the States? Why would I deal with these insane prices for houses, insane prices for apartments, when I can go to a Brazil, when I can go to a Colombia, when I can go to Philippines, Thailand, and get a way better place for a fraction of the price? Why would I spend an arm and a leg to go into the club over here every single weekend when I can go to a different country and spend $30 in the night tops and have the time of my freaking life? Why would I do that? You know, there's a reason why people work here for most of their life and go somewhere else to retire. Nobody likes to retire over here in New York City. I've never heard of a person say, I'm just going to retire and I'm going to stay here in New York City. Usually people go down south to Florida, right? So they take a plane, they go down to Florida, or they go to the south, or they leave the country, right? My grandfather did it. Your grandfather probably did it. Everyone's done it, right? So why are we getting criticized for moving and going to these other places or traveling to these other places? There's no reason for that, because people do it because it's much cheaper, much more affordable. If these big companies can make their products overseas because it's cheaper, right? That's why they do it. They have these warehouses and these factories overseas because they can pay the employees much less and save money and get the same results, right? The iPhone, whatever product it is that they're making, these sneakers, same things with these sneakers. They're made overseas, they're shipped here, and they're sold here for a large profit. Because these people, these big business owners, understand that it's much cheaper to do things overseas. So if they don't get judged, why am I getting judged? Why are all my brothers that are traveling for good reasons getting judged? It's just much cheaper overseas. Another reason why I travel and a lot of brothers travel is because of the culture. In these countries, things aren't shoved down your throat. There's a lot of propaganda here, a lot of agendas here in America that they try to shove down your throat, right? And I have no problem with any of these movements or whatever the case is, before anyone labels me as whatever, right? I have no problem with them. However, I do have a problem when these agendas are constantly thrown in my face over and over and over and over and over. When our children in our schools are getting force-fed this shit, right? There's a reason why a lot of parents are homeschooling their kids. They're homeschooling them. They're putting them in private schools. They're not trying to have this junk fed to our children. And that's what they're trying to do here in the States, right? There's a lot of good things here about America, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of bad that's going on. And it's all these freaking agendas, this whole anti-men culture that we have here in the States, where fuck men's mental health, fuck men, make them work, make them get married, take half their shit, fuck them, who needs them, let the court system fuck them over. That's not right. That's not right how men are being treated in this country, right? It's not right. That's why men are leaving the country, are traveling to other countries, because they're seeing how much better the men over there have it. They're getting treated like kings in these countries, right? They're happier in these countries. And not even just men, but also women, because women are also traveling too. Women are traveling too, right? For the same damn reasons I'm just stating right now. Men and women are traveling because they're sick of the culture, the toxic culture here in the States. In other countries, people can say hello to each other. You can walk down the street, say hi, make friends. People aren't antisocial like it is here. People aren't going to force anything down your throat, right? It exists. It still happens. There's a community for that, as there should be, but nothing's shoved down your throat in these countries. Politics isn't such a big deal in these countries either, right? Over here in America, there's so much tension between people because of politics. We're taking it so damn seriously. You would think that this is a fucking a gang war or something. You ever seen these gang wars back in the day in the 90s before that? The Crips and the Bloods shooting up each other. That's how I feel like it is over here. Like, you're either in the Democratic gang or the Republican gang. And if you're Democratic, the Republicans are going after you. And if you're Republican, the Democrats are villainizing you, antagonizing you, calling you racist and all these terms or whatever it is. It's such a tug of war. There's so much tension here that you don't sense when you're overseas. When you go overseas, it's almost like the world's lifted off of your back because everything's so much calmer, slower paced. People are taking everything in life, right? They're enjoying life. They're actually living life to the fullest in these other countries. And so when you're on the hamster wheel for so many years, working your ass off, making money, and you go to a Dominican Republic, you go to Brazil, Thailand, any other country, Europe, and you see how they're living, and they're much more relaxed. They live into 100 or past 100. You see that all the time when you have all these older people that are 100 years old that are in better shape than most of us over here in America. And then we wonder why. And it's because they're eating better, which we're going to get to later, but less stress. They're actually having fun in life. A lot of us Americans are constantly stressing each other and stressing ourselves over work, over something that's not going to matter. If we pass away today, our job is going to replace us within minutes. Within minutes. They don't give a damn about nobody. We're just a number. We're just there to make money for the higher ups. That's what we're there for, right? And you go to other countries, you see, wait a second, life isn't about work. Life is about living, right? So that's another one, is the culture in these other countries. Number 3, the food. Everything is much more natural. There's no chemicals. There's no add-ons, right? Now, the food portions are smaller. Maybe the food doesn't taste as good as it does here in America. That's because it's natural and there's no chemicals. That's why it tastes the way it does, because that's actually what you're supposed to be eating. And then the size portion that you're getting is however much you're supposed to be eating, right? All these big-ass portions that we have here in America is not normal. It's normalized to us Americans because we've been eating like that since birth, which is why the obesity rates, and don't get me wrong, I'm a little overweight. I'm not gonna lie here. That's why the obesity rates are up. That's why a lot of people are overweight. That's why a lot of people are dying young. And it's because of the freaking food here. It's not normal. It's not right. You have so many fast food restaurants. You can literally buy 20-piece McNuggets for $2, $5. Meanwhile, a salad's gonna cost you freaking 10. Healthy food, Whole Foods, right? Because you have the supermarket and they got Whole Foods. They separate the two. Why they got to separate the two for? You know what I mean? It's all about money here in the States. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, in a country like Brazil, you can go to a supermarket and you know for sure all this shit is natural. All this shit is good. They're not going to sell you junk in the supermarkets or the grocery stores. If you go to a restaurant, everything is natural. Everything's from scratch. You know what I mean? Everything's better product, better quality in these countries, which is why the people are healthier, they live longer, and they're happier. And then another reason why a lot of us brothers and why I travel is for new experiences, to broaden our horizons. A lot of us stay in the same community, in the same city for our whole lives. We've never seen anything besides our freaking community, our fucking city. I know a lot of guys have never been outside the state, that have never been outside the freaking country before. And the thing is, the brothers that travel, the guys that travel, have more of an open mind. They're more educated. Not saying that the people that stay here aren't educated, right? Because they are. But I feel like when you actually have these experiences, like what I'm talking about, when you're traveling outside the country, you're going to Japan, you're going to these other, it gets you more cultured. It gets you more open-minded about other cultures. It teaches you a lot about life, and it connects you to a lot of different people. Like I've had so many conversations here in the States where I'm at a family gathering, and there happens to be a family friend that's there, and they're from Poland, and I know a lot about Polish culture. And I'm like, hey, excuse me, I saw your name, and are you Polish? And the guy's like, yeah, how do you know? I was like, oh, because I've been there before, and I went to Warsaw, and da-da-da-da-da. And like the amazing conversations and friends I've made just based upon that off of my travels. It's fascinating. And that's like, speaking of fascinating, it's fascinating to see other cities, to see other cultures. I'm naming all these reasons for you guys, and I can keep going with the reasons as to why brothers travel. But for time's sake, I'm going to cut it after that because we're going to be here for another 3 hours. My whole point is you can't put us all in one tier. Just because we have a blue passport and we happen to be traveling doesn't mean we're just traveling for women, for sex tourism. That's bullshit. That's like me saying that all men are stupid, or all men are misogynists, or all women are gold diggers. You see what I'm saying, guys? Like, if you're offended, that's the point of me stating this, because I want y'all to feel that way. Because it's generalizing people. You're generalizing me. You're generalizing my friends, my brothers, all my people that travel. You're generalizing all of us and putting us in one bracket, the sex tourist bracket. And the reason why y'all say that is a lot of y'all haven't really been to these countries, so you don't know what we're doing in these countries. What y'all go based off of is what you see on TikTok and YouTube and all these videos where these brothers are holding hands with pros, with P4P girls. And you're going to think to your head, okay, that's what all these guys are doing. They're going all there just to get laid and get with these P4P girls. When those are just a small minority of the guys that are going to these places. You know, don't put us all in one bracket. There's a lot of brothers that travel to these places for different reasons. I'm sure there are some that do it for the sex tourism, but that is a small sample of the larger population that are traveling. Brothers are traveling for the cheap cost of living, better quality of life, the food, the culture. I can keep going down the line here. I can keep going down the list. And I'm going to end off this video by giving my brothers a message. All the brothers that are solo traveling, that are entrepreneurs, that are traveling the world, that have been doing this since birth. Right? Since birth. Since before the Passport Bros title was even a thing. I want y'all to go out there and keep living your damn freaking life. Stop worrying about what these people got to say about you. You can let them think whatever you want to think. But at the same time, brothers, let's start showing people that not all Passport Bros are doing the same damn thing. Are out in Poblado trying to get P4P girls, right? That's not what all of us are doing here. We're over here helping the communities. We're over here starting businesses in these other countries. We're over here helping these cities, giving back, having families, getting married, right? Having serious commitment. Not all of us are doing the same damn thing, and we need to start promoting this stuff more so people can be educated and better informed on the travel space and what the Passport Bros are doing overseas.
Vou passar na casa dele só pra dar uma relaxada. Sei que ele tá namorando, nem ligo, sou abusada. Ele gosta da sentada. Ele gosta da sentada. Que se for da ela,